Neptune? 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 Are you in here? Neptune? 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 This isn't funny anymore. Where are you? So you've lost your chameleon. Try not to panic too much. I'm going to try and give you some tips and tricks on what to do if you lose your chameleon. So losing your chameleon happens more often than you think. And no, it's not because they camouflage. What usually ends up happening is someone will leave their enclosure just a little bit open and they'll get out that way, or people will have their chameleon on their free range and will not watch them for a second and they'll misplace them that way. And another way I've heard of people losing their chameleon is they'll be perched on their shoulder and they'll be walking around doing stuff and the chameleon will grab onto something while they're walking by and get lost that way. If you've quickly realized that you've lost your chameleon, look up high. Look up on top of curtain rods, on top of bookshelves. Anything that's up high would be a great place for a chameleon to end up. Remember that height is safety for them and they feel best when they're up high, so definitely look up. You also want to look on cords and wires, especially behind TVs and bookshelves. They like to climb those, so definitely look there. I would also recommend looking for your chameleon at night. I know this sounds weird, but chameleons, when they go to sleep, they turn a lighter color, what we call their PJs. So if you take a flashlight and look around for them, there's a good chance you'll find them because they'll stand out because they'll be a bright light color as compared to during the daytime where they'll be a little bit darker. And make sure you're checking places more than once. You know, chameleons move around, so just because you look somewhere doesn't mean they're going to end up there a few minutes later. So double, triple check places more than once. Also keep in mind that chameleons like to swivel on branches, so you know their little eyeballs poking out and the rest of their body is covered. So you might have looked there, but they were hiding, so make sure you're double checking. If you lost your chameleon outside, don't give up hope. I've heard of people who have lost their chameleons for 6 weeks outside, upwards to 2.5 months when someone found their chameleon at a community park. Remember, look up high, look up branches, look at nighttime. I would also notify your neighbors so they can keep an eye out, as well as local vets in case someone finds a chameleon and turns it in. The most important thing with losing your chameleon outside is temperature. So hopefully it's a warmer time of the year. Chameleons can handle colder temperatures, but if it's below freezing, you know, odds aren't great. But don't give up hope. And lastly, if I'm being honest, you're gonna need a little bit of luck and some patience. So just keep trying, keep looking, don't give up. Remember, someone found their chameleon over 2 months later. I'm sure there's been longer, shorter, I'm not sure. But don't give up, most importantly. And, you know, hopefully you ate some Lucky Charms for breakfast. Some things that aren't gonna work, most likely, is if you call their name. I don't know about you, but Neptune doesn't answer when I say his name. Would be nice, but that's usually not the case. And putting out a bowl of food. I know, you know, this is common for other lost animals, but chameleons are opportunistic feeders. So they're not going to search out food. If food crosses their path, then they'll eat it. So putting out a bowl of food is kind of a mute point. I mean, by all means, but I wouldn't necessarily use it as a way to find your chameleon. The only time I've ever come close to losing Neptune was when he was a teeny baby. Not teeny baby, but maybe a couple months old. And I forgot to latch one of the latches, I guess, on his enclosure, and he climbed on the outside. So he was just chilling right here on the outside of his enclosure. And luckily I didn't have anything for him to climb onto that was nearby at the time. Had my couch been pushed up or something had been touching the enclosure, he would have definitely taken advantage and who knows where he would have ended up. But luckily he was isolated to the enclosure and he was only awake for like an hour or so before I noticed. So hopefully you found some of this advice a little bit helpful in finding a lost chameleon. Like I said, sometimes it takes a little bit of luck and there's only so much you can do, but hopefully this helps. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like. Feel free to subscribe so you know when I post a new video. I'm curious, have any of you guys lost a chameleon or know of someone who's lost their chameleon? Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if they found them, where they found them. And feel free to follow Neptune on Instagram at Neptune the Chameleon. Thanks for watching and have a good day. Bye. Oh, when